Hi there, and welcome to the video. We'll be counting down the top 30 dinosaurs and ancient creatures I want to see added to Jurassic World Evolution 3. However, before going any farther, let's kick the list off with some of my honorable mentions who just fell too short of being unique enough to foment their spot in today's list. Trachodon, Rebecosaurus, Basilosaurus, Lophohorthon, Bashonosaurus. Number 30, Imperabator. This ferociously cute little guy was found in Antarctica, which is a big part of what makes this dinosaur so interesting, as I'd love to see a full-blown Antarctic DLC in Evolution 3. There are only a small handful of other dinosaurs from Antarctica, and this is probably the next best thing to go beside our lonely Cryolophosaurus. Number 29. Saltosaurus was one of the first sauropods to become famous for its heavily armored look and bony osteoderm plates running down its back. That alone cements it on our list. Number 28. Cosmoceratops. While the Kula ceratopsian is still up for debate, this dino has one of the most distinct and unique frills of his kind, with those down-facing spikes on the top of his crest. Also, his name alone is quite cool. Imagine this Cosmoceratops with a cool cosmic coloring design across his head crest. I mean, it just seems like common sense to me for Evolution 3 to have in the next game. Number 27. Apalachiosaurus. Well, what makes this small to medium-sized tyrannosauroid so special? Well, he just happened to be found on the eastern half of the United States, and not only that, but Alabama of all places. The remains dug up were some of the most complete skeletal remains of any dinosaur in the entire southern USA, and because I want Frontier to design a game mechanic where we can actually dig up dinos from all over the map, this would be my choice for my personal region. Number 26 goes to Sauroposeidon. Well, what makes this dino so unique is simply just his size. This is debatably thought of as the tallest, or if not one of the tallest dinosaurs to have ever graced the planet. I mean, that's quite the accomplishment. His placement among other sauropods and titanosaurs is rough to understand, but either way, here's the Goliath I choose. Number 25. Duonicus tsogpatari. To keep it simple, just think of Therizinosaurus's little brother. He stood less tall, smaller frame, but the real difference between him and his brother is he only has 2 large claws. Which is great because now we'd have the dino we need to defend off medium-sized carnivores in the game. Number 24. Psittapati. Just think of this human-sized oviraptor duking it out with the likes Velociraptor or Dilophosaurus. Plus, maybe we'd finally get that egg thief dino trope a lot of us were misled about when growing up. Number 23. Archaeopteryx. I wonder what makes this bird-like dinosaur so special. Oh, while you're looking at it, this iconic creature was what science first bridged the gap between dinosaurs and modern-day birds. This dinosaur really helped pioneer the future for dino enthusiasts for decades to come. Number 22 spot goes to Diabloceratops. Yeah, you guessed it, was named straight after the devil himself. That iconic distinct head crest and horn pattern is just straight up amazing. I definitely see this dino soon outclassing even the iconic Triceratops and becoming a household name all across the globe. Number 21 goes to Augustinia. This sauropod often gets overlooked for not being the biggest, but what it is known for is its 2 massive rows of spike structures down its back looking like interlocking rows of fingers, except instead of fingers it's long interlocking neural spines. Hopefully this dinosaur will get its flowers in the years to come. Finally, kicking off the list at number 20, it's Fauna herzogi, this small-bodied, whiskered little herbivore most known for being the burrowing dinosaur. So now we can finally have a tunnel-digging dino in the game, which would make it unique amongst other dinos. Number 19 goes to the much-talked-about Postosuchus. While this creature isn't actually a dinosaur, you can tell it's definitely an ancient relative. Seeing as how there are no true quadrupedal theropods, this semi-quadruped will fill that role perfectly. Number 18 goes to Allosaurus inax, once referred to as Saurophagonax. It turns out just to be an even more oversized Allosaurus, but that's alright in my book, and I believe most of you would agree as well. The bigger the better. Number 17 belongs to Halscaraptor. It was known for being a small swan flamingo-like dino. The reason it makes it so high on the list is because this dinosaur is one of the very few dinosaurs to be believed to be semi-aquatic. There has never been proven to be any fully aquatic dinosaurs, making this little guy quite unique, and probably was like the duck dino of its day. Number 16, low-key Ceratops. This relatively recently discovered dinosaur was named after the Norse mythology god himself. I think this distinct frill is quite the sight to behold, and will be giving Triceratops a run for his money soon enough. Only time will tell. Kicking off the top 15 is Inostrancevia. This ancient reptilian mammal like saber-toothed nightmare was almost around head height on a human, and was up to 11.5 foot long. Basically just the saber tooth before saber teeth. But sometimes simple is better. This could play a unique role in ancient quadrupedal monstrosities once again. Number 14 goes to Euberger jubatus. This small theropod dinosaur wasn't as ferocious as most, but its unique rod porcupine quill-like structures that protrude off of his body would definitely make him stand out from other small theropods and give him an interesting form of defense. Number 13 is the already very highly requested by most Plateosaurus. This lumbering medium-sized protosauropod would play a unique role in sauropodomorph evolution. To put it simply, it was a long-necked dinosaur that was still walking on two legs, or mostly bipedal. Number 12, Bajadasaurus. This sauropod was unique in the fact that it had neck spikes facing forward above its head, giving it a true form of defense to fend off predators, or at least to deter damage. Although some have argued there may have been a frill covering those spines, but either way it's much needed in Jurassic World Evolution 3, where it seems every sauropod just usually rolls over and dies every time a fight ensues. Number 11 is Mononychus. This dinosaur would be one of my new additions for small dinosaurs. What makes this dino stand out is that it only has one claw-like appendage at the end of the arms. He probably would act as nothing more than roadkill in the game, but it would be cute to see them running around before being hunted down by other dinos. Starting off the top 10, we have Majakasaurus. This small carnivore was very unique in that it had a hinged-like jaw, with an unruly amount of teeth hanging off at the front of its jaws. Very reminiscent of the way a helicoprion shark looks, with its crazy spiral, jagged, toothed jaws. This could definitely well be the best small predator for the game. Number 9 is Ichi. This small flying gliding bird-like dino was unique in that it had very unusually long-fingered claws for climbing trees, and unlike most dinosaur wings, these wings were more like those of bats and birds combined. Just think of this as the insectivore from hell. Although I'm sure he probably took out smaller opportunistic prey as well. Now I know what you're thinking. There is eventually going to be, dinosaurs at some point, right? Well, here we go with number 8, being Altospinax. This dinosaur's name is basically synonymous with Beckelspinax from the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous series. Let's pray this amazing-looking dino makes its way into the next iteration of the game. Number 7 is Ichthyotitan. This marine reptile's existence is still currently being debated. We know there have been massive ichthyosaurs before, but this one was believed to be, or basically rival even the size of a blue whale, which could mean it was the largest creature to ever live on Earth. Ever. So let that sink in. Although not currently fully accepted, this dinosaur's existence is gaining traction, and as more fossils are being collected every day. This may soon change the history books. Yay, paleontology. Number 6, Spinophorosaurus. Well, I said sauropods with weaponry is rare. Outside of whip-like tails and just brute overpowering of an opponent, there's not much to go on. But this dino had a pair of spine-like appendages at the end of its tail, potentially used for defense. And well, that's just cool in my book. Especially for my hopes of sauropods fighting back in this next game. While we're at it, to show you just how seriously rare this sauropods being able to fight back thing is exactly, let's kick off the top 5 with Shunosaurus. Unlike the previous dinosaur Shunosaurus, not only had spike-like things at the end of his tail, it also possessed a club-like knob at the end with thagomizer-like spikes coming out. So what we have here is a long-necked sauropod dinosaur combined with an ankylosaur and stegosaur. I mean, this definitely kicks off the top 5 in the right direction. This is a definite must for Jurassic World Evolution 3. Number 4 goes to Launingdosaurus. Do not let this small dinosaur go under your radar. As I mentioned earlier in the vid, There are no aquatic dinosaurs at all ever, in the history of dinosaurs. No dino we've ever found, at least yet. I would argue even when compared to Spinosaurus, this is the closest thing we have found to what actually may have been a semi-aquatic dinosaur. This small ankylo found with fish in its stomach content is super rare, not only because it was believed to be herbivorous, which that fish flipped that argument on its head, but it's suited for aquatic behavior, turtle shell-like protection from beneath the surface, as well as using nearby water to escape from dino danger. This dino could have very well played a similar role in that of like a capybara or with turtle-like behavior. It was probably very water-friendly at the least. At the end of the day, a lot of dinosaur fans may not want to admit this or understand that a lot of things we know about dinos is heavily influenced by speculation. We go along with Spinosaurus being semi-aquatic because sail spine and crocodile-like snout, but this little guy, unlike Spino, had a fish in his stomach content. And he should get a lot more respect and a lot less scrutiny from the academic side of the community. A fish in stomach content speaks louder than crocodile-like snout. After a lot of back and forth myself with AI, even it said there was roughly a 70% chance that this dino was indeed semi-aquatic, and who knows, maybe if the extinction event never occurred, then this dino may have even evolved into our first aquatic dino. That being said, please put this little fella in the game. Number 3, Maiate macrothorax. This was possibly the largest megaraptorid dinosaur ever. Very raptor-like, but not to be confused with the likes of velociraptors. This thing stood about 11 foot tall, about 30 feet long, and weighed up to 5 tons. The bottom line is if this dinosaur wanted you for a meal, then there would be no escaping it. Might as well serve yourself up on a platter. The number 2 spot goes to the beyond amazing Hatzegopteryx. This was truly the most terrifying and lethal flying reptile in existence. This thing clearly rivaled the mostly well-known Quetzalcoatlus. However, unlike Quetzal, which is mostly thought of as the terror of the sky, it's believed this pterosaur was actually more fit for land. It was believed to be the apex predator of its ecosystem at the time of its existence, dwarfing most dinos around it. Number 1. Well, many of you already probably guessed it. But number 1 goes to the behemoth that defied nature, the incredible Shantungosaurus. This hadrosauroid was the largest terrestrial dinosaur ever outside of sauropod dinosaurs. This thing could have legitimately stood a chance at fending off a T-Rex, and that speaks for itself. If this dinosaur is brought to the new Jurassic World game, then many of us dino fans can finally sleep good at night. Well, that's it. Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe for even more amazing dinosaur content and other cool things to come. Peace out.